Racing. Untitled Shamrock Blue is bursting through a gap and coming ominously. Shamrock Blue's got the lead and Shamrock Blue's got the money. Beat home F-Troop.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 232 and it's proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week we will preview our 14 runners for Saturday's meeting at Doomben with 3 feature stakes races on the program. Morning Tony, last Saturday we had many of our winter hopefuls step out for the first time this prep, and it was a particularly impressive winner that we had in Antino.
Yeah, good morning Claire, good morning everyone. Yeah, it was a bit of a bittersweet day last week, but Antino, he was the shining light of the show. I guess it's not really the start of our winter carnival yet, but you can certainly feel the winter carnival's right here. Obviously there was a stakes race, two stakes races last week there on the card. We didn't win the one we were in, but we did have a nice, I think, emerging stakes horse regime in Antino. So he was great, and there was other horses that ran well on the day. So the bittersweet thing was, obviously, we trained our 100th Metro winner, which you'll get to, I'm sure. But the downside to last Saturday was Garibaldi, unfortunately, happened to be retired after having a second bleed, and that was certainly the most disappointing aspect of the day, and knocked the stable around a bit for 6, to be honest. So we have the highs and we have the lows all in one day.
We certainly did. Okay, let's get stuck into our preview for Saturday at Doomben. The rail is in the 3 metre position. The track is currently rated a soft 5 with fine days ahead. You'd think we'd have a good 4 track for Saturday, and do you think speed will be the preferred spot in the race?
Yeah, I do. A lot of these races looked plenty of tempo in them this week. Got pretty good sized fields there at Doomben, and they look to be really strong races. So I would be going there thinking with the weather we got forecast, there is a chance of showers. I hope we don't get them. I think it looks to be tempo related.
Okay, we'll start with race 2, which is the benchmark 78 handicap over the 2,200 metres. Flensburg runs 52 kilos with Angela Jones's 1.5 kilo claim. Flensburg will jump from barrier 1. He's currently paying $14 to win and $4.20 for the place. He will be the fittest this preparation. A lot of things went wrong last start at Doomben over the 2,040 metres. He does get in light with Angela's claim, but he has drawn really well.
Yeah, the main thing that went wrong the other day, the minute he jumped, he just got straight on himself, pulled his front shoe straight off, took a bit of bulb off, and from that point on, I just never thought he looked good in a rhythm at all in the race. So I'd be pretty forgiving. He's a real one-trick pony, this horse. You've got to ride him back just nice and quiet, put him to sleep in the second half of the field, and give him his chance to run on. I'm sure if she does that, and she knows him well, that he can run a good race. Can he win this race? Look, I don't know if you can really zero in on any one horse in this race. This is your standard, 78, 2200, isn't it? There's probably, they run this race again next week and a different winner to this week. So we say that a lot with these staying races, and this race is no different. Just a nice quiet ride out the back, hit the line. If it's his turn, it's his turn on Saturday.
Okay, fair enough. Race 4 is the benchmark 72 handicap over the 1,200 metres. Self-indulgent will run in this. 56 kilos with CJ Graham's 3 kilo claim. She has drawn at barrier 15. She's currently paying $4.40 to win and $1.80 for the place. It was a little bit disappointing first up. Stays at the same track and trip, which she does like, but she has drawn quite poorly.
Yeah, she was plenty disappointing, really, fresh up. I did go in there a little bit tentative as to know what she'd be like that last half furlong, because she does improve racing under her belt, this filly, and that's what I want to see this weekend. It's a funny race to assess. I don't know whether quality wise it's that strong, but I certainly don't know how it's going to be run yet. There's still a few horses that are in the field that may come out, etc., or change the tempo of the race. I don't think it probably alters us too much. I think we get a nice positive ride. We're somewhere in the first 4 or 5, and in being there, I think we've got a good chance. And she definitely improves with racing.
Yeah.
I want to see an improved run. Is she quite ready to win yet? Well, she's got to improve a bit off the other day because she was below par.
Yeah.
She may just need one more run.
Okay, fair enough. Race 5 is the benchmark 90 handicap over the 1,110 metres. We have 4 runners in this. We'll start with F-Troop. He'll carry 58.5 kilos with Angela Jones's 1.5 kilo claim. F-Troop's drawn barrier 7. He's currently paying $6 to win and $2.30 for the place. He is first up on Saturday and typically does go well first up and looked superb in a 1,000 metre trial last week, and you put the blinkers back on.
Yeah, blinkers went back on. I wish I put them back on 4 strides out the gates in the Magic Man's cutest race, unfortunately. This race here definitely tells you the carnival's here.
Yep.
This is a very good benchmark 90. There's stakes races later in the day here, 3 of them in fact this Saturday, but this is arguably as good as a listed race.
Yes.
This is a very strong race for the sprinters. F-Troop is a horse who can really present well early in the prep. Good race. I think he maps quite okay. There's really good speed here. he should find the back of that speed. Ange knows him well. She's trialled him a couple of times now, last prep and this prep, and he really does seem to go well for her. So I think she'll ride him well. That little bit of weight relief will help him.
Yep.
He'll get a nice enough run. He's certainly in the mix.
Okay, second runner we'll talk about is Proper Rogue. He'll carry 59 kilos. Damien Thornton rides Barry at 13. Was okay first up at Eagle Farm over the 1110 about 5 weeks ago. He hit the line nicely after being ridden quietly in a trial last week to get ready for this.
Yeah, and his sort of racing pattern should suit a race like this. He's just better with rain affected on rain affected ground. But I thought he was really good late in that trial. He'll just ride back in the second half of the field here. I think he maps quite okay because, like I said, there'll be plenty of pressure. Look to see him running on. But can't wait to see the day he gets on a wet track this winter. When he does, you'll see him just go like that. But he's in the mix, but I think any showers around enhances his chances.
Third runner we'll talk about is Salatine. She'll carry 58.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board, barrier 3. She's currently paying $13 to win and $3.90 a place. She's first up for Winter Campaigners and has won 2 from 6 first up. Loves the track and a nice pipe opening trial last week.
Way over the odds this one. I expect her to shorten. I think she maps well. She'll sit on the back of that speed too. Maybe just behind where F Troop and that'll be just back on the fence. She's got to get through and get the right runs, but she'll present really well. She's far better suited to this sort of track on Saturday than she is to those summer good ground. It's a big difference between a good floor now and what there is in summer, and I expect her to be right there Saturday. She's a mare going really well. We've got her very forward this time in the preparation, and I'm exceptionally happy with her.
Okay. The fourth runner we have in this race is Shamrock Lou. He will carry 58.5 kilos with Jim Byrne riding from barrier 3. He's currently paying $13 to win and $3.90 for the place. Was good effort under a big weight first up from a wide barrier about a month ago. Drawn better, down in the weight, and another coming off a nice trial.
Yeah, that was a plan to get him down on the weights, Claire. He's a real underrated horse, this bloke. He's always under the radar. He gets in nice to the weights. He maps yet again to get a nice run. He's sort of midfield there, biding his time. Jimmy Byrne knows him very well. So, you know, he's probably the most unheralded out of our 4 in this race, but he's certainly not my 4th best chance in it. I think all 4 of my horses here map beautifully. None of them are sort of horses that want to charge up on speed, and that's the key here, because there's 3 or 4 horses that are really going to get going. I think my bunch are all going to find their positions in behind that speed. Shamrock will run really well. He just needs the brakes to go his way. I thought he was good under the big weight, fresh up, down in weight. Jockey knows him well. Can certainly see him in the mix also. What am I going to put on top out of my 4? I'm going to go F Troop.
Okay.
I'm really happy with the way he's come back. He really seems the F Troop of old, this horse. I loved his prep in the summer. That form, I feel, is probably good enough to run well here for the run he's going to get.
Okay. We will move on to race 6 now, which is the benchmark 90 handicap over the 1350 metres. We have 3 runners in this one. Aussie Nugget will carry 56.5 kilos. Ben Thompson rides. He has drawn barrier 11. At the moment, Aussie Nugget is paying $19 to win and $6 for the place. He is first up and likely to need the run going by his record. He's yet to win below a mile, but he will be given a quiet run from the draw and hit the line strongly.
Yeah, he just wants to run on. I'm not going to touch too much on the nug. He ran on good through the line in his trial. He'll do the same at 1350. Can't wait to see him get out to the mile second up.
Okay. Second runner is Tilly Annam. She'll carry 54 kilos. Kyle Wilson Taylor will be in the saddle from barrier 3. She is paying $8.50 to win and $3 for the place at the moment. Drawn well, 3 weeks between runs, and did win at this track and distance a few races ago. Yeah,
maps well. Kyle should suit. Should race somewhere in the first 4 or 5. Really good back at Doomben. Scratched didn't accept from last week's race, but I thought it was really hot. This is still a warm race, but I think she maps well here, and she's still holding up beautifully in what's been a long prep.
Okay. Third runner we have is Argyle Pink. She is 4th emergency. She'll carry 52 kilos if she gets a run with Angela Jones riding from barrier 2. She's currently paying $13 for the win and $3.70 a place. A strong front running win at this track and trip last start for Ange. Up in grey but drawn well if she gets a run.
Couldn't be going any better, this horse. Has improved again off that win the other day. Any rain around would help her as well. Grays in the wet, she loves a bit of softness, but she's really got a good now affinity with this trip. The 1350 around Doomben. You saw second up, she just peaked. Third up, she bolted in the other day. It was a really strong win. She's improved again off that. Don't usually jump these sort of mares right out of their grade like this. That's how well she's going. If she does get a run, she will start. Lightweight, Ange Jones riding in good form, put her right up on speed. She's a pick of my 3 if she makes the field.
Okay, so out of the 3, she's definitely on top.
She's a pick of them if she makes the field.
Okay, race 7 is the Listed Princess Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies over the 1615 metres. Madame Odette is entered. She'll carry 56.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney riding her. She has drawn barrier 18. She's currently paying $19 to win and $5 for the place. She's second up on Saturday, out to the mile, got a long way back first up over the 1400 metres and flew home without threatening. And she did win the Toowoomba Guineas over this distance last preparation.
It did surprise me how fast she got out of the ground first up. I never know whether to call her Madame Odette or Madame Odette. I don't know. I actually mixed it up in my update, so I don't know which way to say. So I'm going to go with Madame Odette. Yeah, I was surprised that she got out of the ground fresh up. I love the way she finished off. She had a wide run. She come wider. It was a 1 out of 10 from Ange. It was an awful ride. But that doesn't happen often, which is a good thing. Ryan goes back on, knows her well. I bloody hate these wide draws at the mile here. They do make life hard. She's shown previously lovely tactical speed, and I would imagine we would probably go that way again. Big field of fillies sort of coming from everywhere. A really tricky race to line up. I'd imagine we've got to just throw a little bit of caution to the wind, let her roll forward from that wide draw and try and get in somewhere in the back straight. What I mean is we jump quite quickly onto a corner here, so we might have to cover ground that first little bit. I'd imagine she finds a spot somewhere in the first half, but I really don't know where. The mile's no problem at all. She's trained on beautifully. The idea was to go 4 weeks into this, so this is not by chance. I haven't missed a race. This is by design, and I'm very happy with her.
We'll move on to race 9 now, which is the Listed Mick Dittman Plate for the 3-year-olds over the 1110 metres. A race you've previously run with Tia Trelawney. Is that how you say it?
Tia Trelawney, yeah.
Tia Trelawney in 2017. We've got 4 runners this year. Spiritualised is the first one we'll talk about. 57 kilos, Jimmy Orman in the saddle from barrier 16. He's currently paying $13 to win and $3.70 a place. Very talented colt who did win the Magic Millions Rising Stars for the boys in the summer. First up, he did run an awesome trial this week, but drawn poorly and out wide. I
actually did win this race way back with Temple of Boom. Going back a long time now, showing my age.
You are.
Yes, I am. But this is the race of the day for mine. I'm sure most people will think that. I know we have 2 other stakes races, the Princess Stakes, and we have the Tails, and they're all good races. And there's some good races throughout the card on Saturday. But this Mick Dittman is one hell of a race. Spiritualised, going super, given the absolute visitor's draw.
Yes.
It's what we do from that draw. I've got no idea at this point in time. We need to wait and see how this field finally shapes up over the next few days with a few horses still humming and hawing what's running. Couldn't be happier with his trial. The intent wasn't to trial him like that. It was just to let him stretch his legs, and he just got running from the tree and off he went. Powered through the line. His work since has been terrific. Really happy with the horse. I'm mortified by the gate. Okay, can't do much about that one though. I know I can't. It's just how we manage the situation, which I just need a bit more time. We need more time. Myself and Jimmy Orman, we've touched on this already yesterday, what we may or may not do, but it is messy from the barrier, but the horse is going exceptionally well. Okay, second runner we have is Golden Boom, 57 kilos, Ryan Maloney on board, barrier 10. He is paying $4.20 to win and $1.70 for the place. He was a marvel early in the summer with some of his wins running very good time too. Drawn in the middle, so it'll give you a few more options. Oh, well, he should be unbeaten, shouldn't he? Shouldn't he got beat? Yeah. Well, he will be unbeaten when things finalise out, but he should be unbeaten anyway. You know, take away any other sort of regularities involved with it. He was usually unluckily beaten here at Eagle Farm. He was slow out, trapped wide. It was just messy as. This is by far his hardest task. This is a good race. He's a good horse. He's improved nicely off his jump out and trial. He's certainly there to run well with the improvement in him, like all these 3-year-olds. They got a fairly big winter ahead of them. However, it's important they run well here in their first up run. He maps the best of ours, even though he's drawn double figures as well. Another shitey gate. He probably maps well enough to be able to get a good run off that gate. So I think he's somewhere just in behind the speed here. I don't think you'll see him leading up. Depends on how the day plays out for us, how he steps, but he's going particularly well. Okay. The third runner we have is Deer Trail, 57 kilos.
Kai Wilson Taylor will ride him. Barrier 3. Deer Trail is paying $26 to win and $7 for the place. The best drawn of our quartet, who has won at this track and trip on debut. He had let up after his first run this prep, and he ran some good sectionals, and he did trial behind 2 of his stablemates last week.
He finished off really well in that trial, and obviously getting out to the 11-10 suitable. The low draw helps. He'll just pop back, worse in midfield defence, bide his own time, be really strong late. He'll improve off this. He'll improve getting out to the 1200, and I think ultimately getting out to 1400. I think he's be one of the horses here that will set off this really good speed, and this race will be running it looks as though it'll be running a very good clip. So he'll set off that good tempo and be good through the line. Is he going to be quick enough to pick up these horses up on speed that are quite well credentialed? That I'm not sure of.
Yeah.
He'll run well, and he'll have a bit of a light on him for getting to the 1200, particularly up the Sunshine Coast in that big track in a couple of weeks.
Okay. The fourth runner we have is Bezique. She is the first emergency. She'll carry 55 kilos with Angela Jones riding barrier 12. She's currently paying $15 to win and $4.20 for the place. It was a great debut win as a 2-year-old, and then just missed a mistakes race after that. Has had a really nice long spell and come back a treat, highlighted by an impressive trial win last week.
Yeah, lovely filly this. We had a back in just to get ready for the summer, and I just didn't feel summer tracks were going to suit her. She obviously had a bit of knee issues right early on in the breaking in department of her career, so we've had to manage her a little bit differently to others. So far we've done a good job with that, and I think the extra time we've given her has been done her the world of good. She's come back right on song. She jumped out well over half a mile, and she trialled exceptionally well, beating Golden Boom the other day and beating him on his merits. She just put herself there and off she went. So she's an exciting filly. She ran good time. She's improved off that. She worked well here Tuesday. She's another one drawn moderate to average, but she's got lovely tactical speed. So she'll bounce, and she'll be somewhere in the first 4 or 5 as well, depending on where everyone sort of settles down and finds their position. And she'll give a good sight. She's a really good filly, this.
Okay, you've got 4 very promising horses. How are you splitting them?
It's hard to separate this race. It's really hard to know how it's going to be run. I think it's, as I said, such an exciting race, Claire. I'm going to go with Golden Boom. The improvement in him off that last trial and the way he worked on Tuesday probably puts him over the top. But I'd be shocked if any one of our 3 big guns, and that Spiritualised, Golden Boom, and Bezique, didn't run well and they weren't there in the finish, with Deer Trail certainly closing well. So that's sort of how I see them.
Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who do you think your best winning chance at Doomben on Saturday is?
Yeah, in a tough day, it's hard to just have a win only.
Yeah.
I think we'll be betting both totes in most races on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll stick with Golden Boom. I'll stick with him in the last, albeit Bezique, and there's others from other stables that can run really well. I'm going to stick with him.
Okay. Your best each way chance?
Yeah, we've got plenty of each way chances on the day. I could back 2 each way in the benchmark 90, and that'd be probably Salatine at the odds. I think she's over the odds, and F Troop.
Okay.
They both run really well, but I think it's a day that you want to be having quaddies and things like that. The quaddie will pay anything Saturday. You want to really put a lot of horses in here and there, because it's a bloody really good meeting. It's really showing that the carnival's here. So yeah, I'd go them 2. I think for the each way.
Okay, and your best at the provincials at the Sunshine Coast on Sunday?
Yeah, well, it's going to be tricky. We do this before the acceptances, which I've said that previously, and that rails out 10 up there, so it'll really be important where horses draw. Great Aspirations would be my best up there in the maiden 1,000, if indeed he gets in and if indeed he draws well. So there's a few ifs there, but we've got a nice team heading up there. The barriers will be all important up there on Sunday.
With the rail so far. With
that rail out 10, you're racing on top of that crown, which makes it an awfully biased meeting. Yeah. So the barriers are very, very important. Okay,
and we took a few to Deegan to trial on Tuesday. Anything to follow from there?
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. Rising Pacific was good. The new horse from New Zealand, he'll be on for the Guineas next week. Obviously just fresh to the stable. He was lovely, and Vega 1 was brilliant. He's up to the Archer next week, but had the blinkers on him, which we had on him now the last prep, and Ange Jones with an uninhibited ride, just let him flow and let him do his thing. He was brilliant. So yeah, Vega 1 was for me the one to watch, and in what's a good Archer field next Sunday at Rockhampton. They should be commended there, and I know that race was very dear to Alan Acton, one of our clients, so that race is going to be an absolute ripper up there in Rockhampton next Sunday.
And your performance of the week? Well, I think probably training the 100 Metro winners is probably right up there, but what are your thoughts? It's a good team effort to get that far.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Antino's obviously the shining light.
Yeah.
He's a horse that I really can't afford to make any errors with this winter if I want to get him into what I hope would be his grand final, would be a Stradbroke. But the 100 winners, Metro winners, is good. So the whole team here, that's my performance of the week. They do a great job every morning, every afternoon to churn out horses in good form. We haven't rested our laurels. 3 winners yesterday at Ipswich. So the team's done. They're doing an awesome job here.
Absolutely.
90 boxes here at Eagle Farm
91.
to get 100. Yeah, 91. But to get 100 Metro winners already in the season just goes to show all the good work that all the team does in conjunction with Embrook as well. Their horses going in and out. So great team effort.
Absolutely it is. Okay, it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. So close for Cav's multi last week with his first leg Cesaris. Just going down by a pimple. I'm sure things were getting thrown left, right and centre, and then there's nothing surer than the second leg of a failed Cav multi. Jetpack won. Jetpack Verdi won comfortably.
Yeah, he bolted in. I can't believe she got beat, Caesar,
I know.
on Friday night. As soon as she changed stride, they normally improve. She rolled in and got the race through the race away. So
The weight of Cav was just way too much to carry.
I think so. I think it was. I think it was Cav leaning on one side of it, the multi money. I don't know what happened.
Anyway, let's see what he's got for us this week.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Just a touch unlucky last week. This week we'll venture to Doomben on Saturday, and we'll go Tillyanam a place into Salatine a place. Good punning, guys.
So he's gone back to his place formula after Cesaris getting beaten. He's gone Tillyanam a place into Salatine a place.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, Tillyanam maps just so well in that race, and she's such an honest horse. So whether she'll win, you think she's going to be banging around there in that top 3 or 4. Salatine's, look, it's a good race, that benchmark 90. I think she's really well over the odds, and I do like her at the place. She's a bit like a few like Proper Rogue. If we just get a few showers around, her chances improve again. But she's in good order. Her trials have been good, and I wouldn't judge her off her first up run from the summer. She really needed racing then, and she was in a hot race. She ran in behind that Holyfield track record race. So this is a step down from that. It's at the right trip for her. So I don't mind his multi. Whether I follow it in or not, I'm not sure.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, good luck on Saturday at Doomben, Tony. Chances in 2 stakes races and plenty of others throughout the card.
Yeah, thank you, Claire. And I think it's a really exciting time racing up here in Queensland over the next couple of months. And if this weekend's anything to go by, we're in for a hell of an exciting carnival.
Absolutely we are. Best of luck to everyone on the weekend.